others of players that have played in the NBA, I got him number 2 all time.
Yeah.
Are you sweating?
If somebody said you weren't number 1, you don't feel insulted.
No.
So why you got to be insulted about
Because.
LeBron?
Because.
That's emotion.
No,
that's
ain't no
my
emotion.
point. That's emotion. Do you know that when Michael Jordan was playing, there was never a debate ever as to who was the best in the world? Did you know that? There was never a debate. Even before Michael Jordan won the title in 91, from 88 on, it was clear that Michael Jordan, even with Larry Bird or Magic Johnson winning championships, it was clear that Michael Jordan was the best player in the world. Larry Bird called him God in gym shorts.
Had to run out, catch it, now throws it back to Michael. Caught it with one hand from 15 off the board.
Talk about an athlete. What a shot. A save.
Ball, and he's bottled up Jordan with the recovery, and Jordan is fouled.
Shannon Sharpe sat there in silence, not because he had no answer, but because the truth hit too hard. Stephen A. Smith had just asked one of the simplest yet most devastating questions imaginable. If someone says you're not number 1, why does that insult you? The room went still, because in that instant, it became clear this wasn't just a debate about basketball. It was a debate about ego, legacy, and identity. When Stephen A. peeled back the curtain, he didn't just compare resumes. He exposed the emotional core of one of modern basketball's biggest myths, that LeBron James has overtaken Michael Jordan as the GOAT. To understand how Stephen A. dismantled that myth in minutes, we have to return to one unshakable fact, a single stat that no LeBron fan can erase: Michael Jordan. 6 NBA Finals, 6 championships, 0 Game 7s. That's not dominance. That's perfection. Stephen A. didn't waste time rattling off obscure numbers or side accolades. He kept it simple. Jordan never let a final series reach a Game 7, and he never lost. LeBron, 4 championships, 6 finals losses, 2 sweeps. Then Stephen A. went deeper. He reminded everyone that LeBron's sweeps came in best-of-7 series. Jordan's? Only in best-of-5 series early in his career, against Bird, McHale, Parrish, and DJ Celtics. When the league moved to best-of-7, Jordan was never swept again. Ever. That stat alone says it all. Because dominance under pressure, when the lights are brightest, is what separates the great from the greatest. And the gap only widened from there. Jordan's 6 titles weren't just wins. They were statements. Each championship was decisive. Each opponent left knowing they hadn't just lost to a better team. They lost to a man on a mission. 10-time scoring champion. 9-time All-Defensive First Team. 1-time Defensive Player of the Year. That's control of both ends of the court. LeBron, 1 scoring title. 5 All-Defensive selections. 0 Defensive Player of the Year awards. Stephen A. didn't diminish LeBron's greatness. He called him a worthy number 2. But the problem, as he put it, is that the gap between 1 and 2 is massive. And to truly understand why, you have to talk about perception. Because as Stephen A. said, real greatness doesn't need defending. The kind of greatness that was never debated.
Overtime in Game 2 of our best-of-5 first-round NBA playoff.
During LeBron's prime, the debates never stopped. Was he really the best? Was it still Kobe? Was Duncan more reliable? Did Steph change the game more? At every point in LeBron's career, there was always someone else in the conversation. But with Jordan, there was never a question. Not once. From the moment he dropped 63 on the Celtics as a sophomore, Larry Bird didn't just respect him. He bowed to him. His god disguised as Michael Jordan. That wasn't marketing. That wasn't ESPN hype. That was Larry legend. Jordan didn't need campaigns or highlight montages to rewrite his story. The players, coaches, and league did it for him. LeBron has never had that. Not in the same way. And when you look at the teams around them, the contrast grows even sharper. Jordan never joined a super team. He didn't leave when things got hard. He didn't call up Barkley or Ewing and say, "Let's team up." He stayed in Chicago, took the hits, and built a dynasty from the ground up. LeBron? Miami with Wade and Bosh. Back to Cleveland with Love. Then LA with Anthony Davis. And that's not a crime. Players of agency. But as Stephen A. pointed out, there's a difference between riding the wave and being the wave. Jordan was a storm. He took a franchise with 0 championships and delivered 6 in 8 years, with 2 retirements in between. He never needed media defense squads or social campaigns to protect his legacy. LeBron's legacy, on the other hand, seems to always require defending. And that's the most brutal truth Stephen A. revealed. LeBron fans aren't debating anymore. They're defending. At some point, it stopped being about basketball. It became about belonging, identity, and protecting a legacy that, deep down, even his biggest fans know isn't untouchable. When Stephen A. asked Shannon Sharpe, "Why do you feel insulted if someone says LeBron's not number one?" Shannon said, "I don't feel insulted." But his eyes said otherwise. That contradiction, that flicker of emotion, was exactly what Stephen A. exposed. Jordan's legacy doesn't need emotional defense. It stands on cold, hard facts, on killer instinct, on never losing once he reached the mountaintop. LeBron's? It requires explanations, rationalizations, context. You have to explain the decision. You have to explain Dallas 2011. You have to explain the sweeps, the finals losses, and why it's somehow okay to lose 6 times on the biggest stage. That's not GOAT behavior. That's PR behavior. And in the end, it all circles back to one truth Stephen A. hammered home. When the game speaks for you, you don't need to argue. Michael Jordan never once called himself a GOAT. He didn't have to. Everyone else did it for him. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, Pat Riley. The legends themselves crowned him. Even today, players who grew up idolizing LeBron still bow to Jordan. Because deep down, they know he wasn't just a player. He was the standard. Stephen A. doesn't rely on hype or stat manipulation. He simply lays out the truth. If you were there, you knew. If you watched Jordan play in real time, you didn't need a debate. You needed new words just to describe what you were witnessing. LeBron may be the most versatile player ever. But Jordan, he was the most feared. And fear, the purest form of respect, is the rarest currency in sports. So where does that leave the GOAT debate? If you still want a perfect stat to close the case, here it is: 6 finals, 6 wins, 0 Game 7s, no super team, no debate. LeBron's career is extraordinary, record-breaking, era-defining, inspiring. But the crown? It's not something you claim. It's something the game gives you. And in Michael Jordan's case, the game handed it to him long ago. No debate, no asterisks, no emotion required. Just the truth.
Overtime in Game 2 of our best of 5 first round NBA playoff.